Hi, friends. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday. It's time for Brave in Action. My name is Heather Vickery. I am a transformational success coach that is here to help you learn to like and trust yourself right now in this moment as this version of you that exists today. Because the truth is, you're no longer who you used to be, and you're not quite who you're going to be. So, how about building from a foundation of the person you are right now is fucking incredible. Learning to come home to yourself, to belong to yourself, and know that you are worthy and valuable and strong and confident and ready right now in this moment instead of waiting, right? Until you have enough clients or until you have enough money or until you have enough confidence. How about you decide to build it right now? Start from you, start inside. That's what I hope folks do. And before we get into this week's episode of Brave in Action, I want to just share a couple of quick highlights with all of you because there's some really, really cool stuff going on. The first most exciting thing is that applications are now being accepted for the September cohort of the incubator. The incubator is my one fabulous signature group coaching experience. It is a 16-week intensive that does just what I shared with you. It helps you learn to belong to yourself first, come home to yourself, build confidence, build self compassion. We bring in incredible elements of human design, NLP, positive psychology, all of the different modalities. Of course, we use the Brave method as well. And the incubator is here to help you belong to yourself in community with other people who are here looking to do the same thing. So if you are ready to like, love, and trust yourself as this version of you, if you like the idea of deep diving, getting to know yourself, understanding yourself better, and showing up in the world very vulnerably, authentically, and without apology, the incubator might just be the very best next step for you. The only way to find out is to apply. An application requires no commitment, no financial commitment. You apply, and then you and we jump on a one-on-one call. I answer all your questions, and we decide together, collectively, if the incubator is a good fit for you. We have a very limited cohort, very, very limited, max 10 to 15 people, depending on the composition of everyone who joins the cohort. So seating is limited. And right now, between now and the end of the day tomorrow, August 4th, you can get early bird pricing. You can save $500. All you have to do is apply. Again, all you have to do is have your application in by the end of the day on Friday, August 4th to secure that early bird pricing. So if you are even remotely curious, if you think you might want to know more, please get that application. And the very best way to do that is to visit vickeryandco.com/incubator. That will take you directly to the incubator page where you can get some information, send in your application. We can get that one-on-one call scheduled and see if this is a good fit for you. I am so excited for the next cohort of the incubator. It is truly an incredible, unique experience. Nothing else like it exists. That's why I created it. It's something I wish I'd had access to. And so we're going to do this, and it's going to be amazing. The next announcement is that tomorrow is the first Friday of the month. That means it's a Manifestation Power Hour. And if you are ready to take your dreams from just a passive thing that you're kind of thinking about and actually manifest them into existence, come and join us. It's totally free. I do it the first Friday of every month. If you visit vickeryandco.com/manifest together, you can get yourself registered. I love the Manifestation Power Hour. I love the energy and the community that comes together. What we see happen when we do this Power Hour is that people start to expand on their dreams, and other folks in the room say, oh, I know a person, or I have an idea. And we start to see things really existing in real time right in this space together. So much fun. I hope you will join us. So those are my two big announcements. Apply right now for the incubator. Once these spots are filled, they are filled. And I am so excited. We are going to have an incredible time. I've been working on all of the content, refreshing it from the last cohort. It's going to be unique and invigorating and fun. And yes, it's a deep dive, but it is a deep dive that is worth it if you have decided that you are worth it. Woo! How exciting is that? So apply for the incubator and come and join us tomorrow for the first Friday Manifestation Power Hour. It's totally free. We have a great time. Would love to see you there. All right, my loves. Every Wednesday, no, not Wednesday, not Wednesday, every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central, I bring you this live show, the Brave in Action live show. I created this live show because I wanted to share with you one creative way that you could step out of fear and into bravery in your life every day. That's why I call it Brave in Action, right? Because what we know for sure is that when we choose bravely on purpose, we choose bigger, we win bigger, and it's contagious. And I am part of a brave revolution. I am here to help you understand that bravery can look, sound, and feel like something very different every day. Bravery is not just climbing mountains. It's not just getting a divorce or writing a book or starting a podcast or starting a business or starting a family. Bravery is all of those things, but it's also so much more. Bravery is anything that you've decided to step up and face your fears with. We're not fearless, right? Fearlessness is for sociopaths and 3-year-olds. We have fear, but fear either empowers you or informs you or it shuts you down. And that choice is really, really yours. So when I say, when we choose bravely on purpose, we choose bigger, we win bigger, and it's contagious, that's what I'm talking about. So each week I bring a new way that you can step into your own version of brave in whatever way that looks like for you. I have discovered that some days getting out of bed is the bravest thing I can do, or taking a shower or having a conversation. On some Thursdays, coming here and talking to you live feels like the bravest thing I'm going to do, even though I do it every single week. What's brave to you today might be easy for you tomorrow. What's brave for somebody else might feel impossible for you today. I just want you to explore and expand all of the different ways that you can step out of fear and into bravery. And today's topic is learning to love past versions of yourself. This topic came directly from you, the audience. One of my regular viewers and listeners sent me a message a few weeks ago and said, I would really love to have you talk about how brave it is and how we can learn to love past versions of ourselves. And so if you guys ask, I'm going to give it to you. I love that. So thank you. If you have any ideas on topics you would like us to explore, please send me a message. You can send me a DM on Instagram or on Facebook, even on TikTok, anywhere you want, and I will find a way to incorporate that. So I love to hear what you guys are thinking and how you want to show up for yourself and how I can support you in doing that. I really love this topic because I have been on this journey for a long time. There was plenty of my life where I didn't even know myself, least of all love myself. And when I look back, it's really easy to cringe. Ooh, sorry, Instagram. Let me. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I realized it hadn't gone on Do Not Disturb. Let's get reconnected there. I am so sorry, you guys. Welcome back. Forgive me, everyone. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb and the phone rang. Honestly, y'all, we all make mistakes. Love yourself, give yourself grace, and move on. All right. So back to loving past versions of yourself. Goodness gracious. It was really hard I feel cringy sometimes when I look back at the past versions of myself. When I think about my mistakes, if you want to call them that. I don't believe that there are mistakes. I think that everything is a learning opportunity, and it might feel like a mistake in the moment, but it's probably not if you can look back on it and see the gifts that were given to you. But still, the way that I behaved maybe as a teenager, I will tell you, this is one area where I have struggled to forgive myself as a mother of teenagers. Man, it's a hard job, right? And so balancing, remembering to the best of my ability what it felt like to be learning who I was and how I wanted to live in the world and to push boundaries and to speak up for myself and to try and belong to myself as a teenager in a world where we're told we need to belong to everyone else. We need to listen to our parents. We need to do what we're told, all of that. Teenagers can be amazing and wonderful and delightful, and they can definitely be a challenge. And I was a challenging teenager. So the number of times where I have called my mom and said, I am so sorry that I was such an asshole. I am so, so sorry. Right. And so as I am parenting these young adults and these young humans, I'm also learning to forgive past versions of myself, to love past versions of myself for doing the very best that she could. Right. When I think about the journey to coming out, the journey to closing a successful business to start a new one, the journey out of a marriage that my throat chakra, you guys, my throat chakra, a marriage that wasn't working for me, that wasn't healthy for me, wasn't good for anybody, and coming into myself, there are lots of versions of me that I haven't been kind to and that I wasn't always willing to accept and love and be grateful for. So I loved it when an audience member asked specifically for this topic. So let's talk about the 5 most empowering, elevating, and brave ways that you can grow by loving the past versions of yourself, right? And so before we get into those 5 ways, this is where you can really put the Brave method to work. The Brave method is my coaching, my trademarked coaching method approach to dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life that you are madly fucking in love with. It's a way to problem solve. It works in a 360 manner. It works in business, it works in life, it works in grief. I have people come to me all the time and say that they didn't expect that the Brave method would help them with the loss of a loved one, but it did. They didn't expect it would help them try this new thing or learn how to rest more, give themselves more grace. It helped them start a business. It helped them start a podcast, whatever it is, right? That's what the Brave method does for you. And it can be applied in any capacity. So Brave stands for boundaries, what I call the 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, resilience, action and accountability, vulnerability. And then the E, that's your result. The E in the Brave method is expand and empower. When you practice the Brave method, your result is personal expansion and empowerment. So, in order to bravely love the past versions of you that maybe you have a tumultuous relationship with, I want you to think about ways that you can employ the Brave method to support you. What boundaries do you need to set? Maybe there's a boundary around affirmations. Maybe the boundary is when I catch myself feeling icky about past versions or being hard on myself about past versions of me, I will gently practice self compassion. I will remind myself that that version of me was doing the very best job that they could, whatever that could look like. That's just one idea. Take it however you want. Maybe it's in practicing consistent reassessment, reframing, and resilience. The 3 R's, they are probably my favorite part of the Brave method. I love them. And so, what does that look like? Regularly going back and looking at your life, regularly looking at your choices. Do you like what's showing up for you? Do you want to shift it? Do you want to change? Awareness plus willingness is what equals change. So if you don't sit and get dirty with it, if you don't sit and really look at it, how can you possibly be aware and then reassess and then find the gifts and then get up and do it again differently? You've got to look at it. Action, BRA, action. How are you going to show up for yourself in this way? What are you going to do? How are you going to speak to yourself? How are you going to speak about yourself? How are you going to practice self-compassion? How are you going to love yourself? How are you going to be confident? Whatever that looks like. A, action. Perhaps you need some accountability for that. You can do that in the incubator. It's one of the things that we do really, really well in the incubator is help you put some accountability around learning to like and trust yourself as this version of you so that you can actually live the powerful, magical, beautiful life that you most desire, right? Vulnerability, when it comes to learning to love past versions of yourself, you have to be super honest. You have to be truthful about maybe what you were struggling with. Give yourself some compassion, right? That's actually one of the 5 things. So we will belabor that one right now. And and then see how you can expand and empower yourself by loving past versions of yourself. So here are the 5 ways that you will grow and step into your own bravery by loving past versions of yourself. The very first one is you are going to have tremendous personal growth, because when you embrace your past self, your past experiences, you are able to learn from all of your mistakes. And this always fosters personal growth. It helps you develop resilience. We just talked about that, adaptability, a deeper understanding of yourself. When you choose to explore past versions of yourself, you enable yourself to become a better version of you over time. Loving yourself as you were previously frees this version of you from whatever's holding you back. There's forgiveness in that. It's just a beautiful thing. So you can acknowledge and appreciate both positive and challenging moments in your past, because they have 100% contributed to shaping who you are today. Love those past versions of yourself. You wouldn't exist as you are right now without them. Number 2 is remember that learning from your mistakes and challenges leads to overall emotional well-being. So when you choose to love past versions of yourself, even your mistakes, even the ugly parts, even the parts you wish you didn't have, you are showing yourself beautiful compassion. You're practicing self-love, and it significantly impacts not only your emotional well-being, but the well-being of the people around you who watch you do this, who watch you learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself and practice and prioritize your own emotional well-being. It reduces self-criticism and easy for me to say. It reduces self-criticism and negative self-talk, and it leads to increased self-esteem and overall happiness. When you choose those things, the people around you see it and they absorb it and they mirror it for themselves. It shows them possibilities. So instead of dwelling on your regrets, you have an opportunity to view your mistakes as learning opportunities, because they have, and they will make you stronger and wiser and more resilient. Remember that resilience is, it's not about doing the same thing over and over and over repeatedly. It's about practicing that reassessment and reframing and getting up and doing something again differently if that thing still serves you. Sometimes letting go is the most resilient thing you can do. Surrender. Huge work around that. Number 3, and this is so important that it has its own full section in the incubator, is showing yourself compassion. Showing yourself compassion is a beautiful way to learn to love the past versions of yourself. It also helps you create more honest and authentic relationships. When you embrace your own authenticity and you let go of the need to always get approval from others, you begin to build a more authentic and meaningful relationship with yourself and with others. If you approach life and connection and community from a place that is genuine, you attract people who appreciate you for who you really are instead of who they think you are or who they think they want you to be. So don't be harsh on yourself or past versions of yourself. You can approach your past with love and understanding, and this helps you love yourself, practice compassion, let go of all of those limiting beliefs and habits that no longer serve you. It's very difficult to let go of self-limiting beliefs and habits that don't serve you if you refuse to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is a game changer, and it is not always easy. That's why it shows up in the 3rd section of the incubator, because folks, it's difficult to do that right up front. We have to work our way into it, and it takes small intentional baby steps, the compound effect, right? And I'm here to help you completely along that journey, 100%. 4th is loving your past versions of yourself will lead to massive self-awareness and allows you to embrace your own authenticity in a much more honest way. When you reflect on those past experiences, you're going to embrace your journey in a new way. Again, It enhances that self-awareness. It sort of forces you to look at things from a different perspective and be more kind and compassionate. You're going to learn to understand your strengths better, your weaknesses, and also all of your patterns of behavior that have held you back or hindered you, or that empower you. Now they can empower you, right? To make a more informed decision and navigate life more effectively. If you hadn't gone through all of the things that you've gone through, if you hadn't been all of the different versions of you that you've been, you wouldn't have these skills. You wouldn't be able to navigate life more effectively. And maybe you can't do it right now. Maybe you're struggling to navigate life more effectively. And it's because you need to do this deep work that we're doing in the incubator, that I do with my one-on-one clients, understanding yourself in a way that allows you to live into yourself and forgive yourself and to be more honest and to show up more authentically in the world. Because remember that you don't need to conform to societal norms or seek validation from others. You need to seek validation from yourself. This is all about learning to like, love, and trust yourself today, in this moment. And all of the past versions of you have led you to this moment. And when you can embrace your journey and every single version of yourself that got you here, there's a freedom in that, right? Embracing your true self lets you guide yourself on a new journey. It shows you who you are and what you're looking for and what direction you want to go. And you can learn to trust your body and your intuition on what feels good and what feels right, because past version of you paid the price, right? Past version of you did the work. Past version of you made all the mistakes so that this version of you can learn from them and go on to make new mistakes that are going to lead to the next new version of you. And the last one is that when you choose to love past versions of yourself, you really have to practice that self-love and acceptance, because it leads to the most beautiful fulfillment and inner peace. By coming home to yourself, by belonging to yourself first, you begin to accept who you naturally are, and you cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that you cannot have and expand on and explore otherwise. This sense of contentment arises from only being true to yourself. It comes only when you align your actions and your values and your desires. It comes only from learning to belong to yourself, to come home to yourself, to love all of the past versions of you, and accepting the version of you that exists today, right now, in this moment, because you deserve love and belonging. But more importantly, you deserve to love and belong to yourself. If you can belong to yourself first and then go out into the world, imagine what kind of beautiful magic you bring to all of the other people you want to belong with, not to, but with. Imagine the foundation of goodness and knowledge and awareness and authenticity and vulnerability and expansion that you bring to every other group you belong with. If it starts with you, if the foundation of good enough is within you, if the foundation of confidence and worth and value is within you, then you show up in all of those other spaces and you mirror that for everyone else. It is such a beautiful opportunity. And I, for one, am incredibly grateful for all of the past versions of you. I am grateful for them because you make my life better. You make my work possible and enjoyable. And I know that everyone else in your community feels that way. So if you are struggling to find that within yourself, really, truly reach out to me, because I do believe that once you can build that foundation, everything is going to shift for you. I have seen it happen hundreds of times with all sorts of different clients. So again, maybe the incubator is the next best step for you. Apply right now, save that $500. Let's see if this is the right thing for you. I would love to pull a Create Brave card. I always pull a Create Brave card at the end of our Brave in Action live shows. This is a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my amazing friend, Rachel Swanson. Rachel is a creativity coach and I'm the Brave Method coach. Rachel's the artist on all of these. Can you just see how beautiful these are? So if you like oracle cards, affirmation cards, tarot cards, you're going to love the Create Brave cards. They are fabulous. And I like to pull one for myself, for all of you, see what shows up for me, see what shows up for you, what resonates, what feels good. Maybe it's the artwork, maybe it's the affirmation, maybe it's the focus word, maybe it's what I'm going to read from the guidebook. I always shuffle the cards until the one, oh, there it is. The one the universe wants me to have says, here it is. And here it is. Untether. Y'all, this feels like a perfect card choice for this topic, for the topic of learning to love past versions of yourself. I take a step back and remove myself from the outcome. How do I see that attaching to this topic? I see it because we often tether ourselves to past versions of ourselves. They tell us who we are or how we're supposed to behave or what we know. And if you can gently love past versions of yourself and reflect on past versions of yourself, instead of being stuck in that narrative, you can untether and you can say, that was true and it isn't anymore. That was me and it isn't anymore. I did that and I learned, and now I'm not that anymore. I'm different. I like myself better. I love myself. I learned from that. I love this card. So that's how I see it showing up for today's topic, but maybe it means something perfectly different for you. What do you need to untether from in your life? I take a step back and I remove myself from the outcome. Let's read the guidebook. So in the guidebook, it's like having two coaches in your pocket. It's a message from us and then a Create Brave prompt, something you can go out and do right now to sort of step into this affirmation, this manifestation. Untethering from an outcome provides mental and physical space. Deeply surrendering doesn't mean that you don't care about the outcome. It means that you release your attachment to the outcome or the situation. You can believe in the greater good. Things are always changing. And in this moment, things will change. This too shall pass. Worry keeps us tied to all of the negative feelings and fears of what might be. Control keeps us locked into one way of looking at a situation when something much better might be in store if we untether and make room. When your actions are guided by a sense of knowing, intuition, and service, you're going to be more likely to stay focused in the moment and not worry about the future. Staying tethered to a future outcome creates a barrier to the present. You have the power to release all thought or energy that does not keep you in joy and gratitude. Do your best and then surrender. What is meant for you will not pass you by. The work of surrender, of untethering, feels like, I say this over and over and over, and I'm never going to stop. It feels like the work of my life. I know what I want. I am actively working towards what I want. I am declaring it. I am manifesting it. But how I'm going to get there, I surrender. And what it's going to look like when I get there, I surrender, because I know that all timing is divine and the right things will find me at the right times as long as I trust the process. In order to do that, we have to untether. We have to surrender. And it is really a gift and it takes a lot of work. We talk a lot about that as well in the incubator. So here's the Create Brave prompt, a thing you can go out and do right now to help you untether. What result or decision are you anxiously awaiting? How would you feel if you untethered from a specific result and just trusted the process? Write out a list of items that you want to release and then read that list out loud. As you read the list, allow yourself to physically or mentally take a step back from that item and untether. You guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love all the versions of you. I hope that you also can love all the versions of you. And I want to remind you, tomorrow is Manifestation Power Hour, 1:30 p.m. Central. It's totally free. You just have to register so that you can get the link. You can also apply right now for the Incubator 16-week intensive about coming home to yourself, learning to like, love, and trust yourself as this version of you. If you are ready to deep dive into you and to really, really grow and expand, get that application in. Once you apply, we'll set up a one-on-one call. If you have your application submitted before the end of the day tomorrow, Friday, August 3rd, you are eligible for early bird pricing and you'll save $500. So do that right now. Y'all, I love you. I'll be back next week. From now until then, you can reach me on Instagram, you can reach me on Threads or on TikTok. I would love to hear how you are showing up in the world and what kind of support you need. Until then, my name is Heather Vickery, and I am reminding you today and every single day to go out and choose bravely. Bye now.